A very good evening and thank you for joining us on Press Roundtable on Atlantic Television Network. Press Roundtable is a convergence of media practitioners who dissect news and current affairs to provide the right balance. And today on Press Roundtable, we will be discussing Borno State reps or security agents to rescue abducted women. Education reps move to include security learning in basic school curriculum. Emefiele, more trouble as forensic experts confirms forgery in $6.2 million case. And plus, governors, Northwest governors shun a public hearing on minimum wage. And after this break, I'm going to introduce the guests we have tonight. I am Angel. Welcome, stay tuned.
From life across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
We're glad to have you back on Atlantic Television Network, and the program is Press Roundtable. Tonight I'm having a guest, wonderful Nonso Oba, popularly known as Nonsonkwa. He's a media practitioner. He's also a broadcast journalist. He's going to join us tonight. I also have Mr. Kingsley George Papamie is right here in the building. Mr. Kingsley Papamie, you're welcome. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you joined us again. Sure. All right, I am Angel. Welcome, popularly known as Angelic Angel on the social media. Okay, tonight let's look at the stories. Borno State reps urge security agents to rescue abducted women. Federal lawmakers have called on security agencies to rescue about 300 women kidnapped in Borno State last week. It was reported that the women were taken into custody by Boko Haram jihadists while searching for firewood in the forests of Gamboro Ngala. Moving a motion on a matter of urgent public importance on the floor of the House on Thursday, a member representing Bamage Federal Constituency of Borno State, Zainab Gimba, described the abduction as worrisome, like the April 2014 abduction of schoolgirls in Chibok. Now, Gimba said, I want to bring to the notice of the House that about 300 women were abducted while fetching firewood for domestic and commercial purposes in my constituency. And he said, I am calling on security agencies to, as a matter of urgency, see to the rescue of these women who went in search of their daily bread. The House notes that this is the second biggest number of abductions after the Chibok girls' abduction that took place in 2014, even though some of those girls are still in captivity. In his remarks, the Deputy Speaker, Benjamin over the plenary session, described the incident as a sad development and called on security agents to step up their search for women. We are saying that the families of the abducted persons are going through what they are going through at the moment. In the spirit of the International Women's Day celebration, and tomorrow, that is Friday, they said, we pray that these women and those still in captivity be freed from their abductors. There is no better way to celebrate Women's Day without calling for the protection and release of these women. And it now also added that following the resolution of the House, the motion was referred to the Committee on Defense and National Emergency Management Agency. Now, in a related development, bandits invade Kaduna school, kidnaps pupils. Some bandits were reported this morning to have invaded the primary school, Koringa, in the troubled Chikun local government area of Kaduna State, kidnapping scores of pupils on Thursday this morning. Now, a source who is a resident of the area said no fewer than 100 pupils were taken by the bandits who stormed the town in large numbers. It was also gathered that the head teacher of the school as well as other staff were among those abducted by the hoodlums. Parliament Thursday, that's a few minutes before Thursday, bandits invaded the Goringora, the troublesome Chikun local government area state of Kaduna, forcing residents to barricade the Kaduna-Abuja expressway, protesting the abduction of an unspecified number of people in the area. The residents had stormed the highway, protesting and urging the government to do something about the incessant attacks by the bandits of the area. Now, these are two stories, coming the first. So one, they abducted the school, the abduction of the women, okay, and then they are now calling, exactly, and they said this is the second biggest, remember in 2014, that the Chibok girls were abducted in their schools, and most of them are still in captivity. The federal government did all they could do. They really tried. I commend them. But still, most of them are still there in captivity. And now, this morning, we also had this news that these women who went to fetch firewood, who went to look for their daily bread, were abducted. And now, the lawmaker is calling on the government and the security agency to come and help them, to get these people out. Remember that the Chibok girls are all still in captivity.
Yes, they are.
And now the second one also in the pupils being abducted. Now the communities, it happened in Chinkun local government area of Kaduna State. The people are also crying to the government, please rescue us. This is so much because over 100 pupils were abducted in the school today. Coupled with this, where is Nigeria heading to? Is it this, I think, have you really taken note of something like this happening in the northeast or in the like in our zone here? We're in River State, of course. Have you ever seen something like this?
It's not.
Okay, it's not quite news, but really not really in this large number.
No, last week.
Now, what do you think that the government can help? Because I think this is really becoming worrisome.
Yes.
Him calling the security agents to help them.
Yes.
What can they do themselves? What do you think about this?
Yes, exactly. What I think is that, first of all, I want to commend the National Assembly.
Okay.
I think this time around the National Assembly is rising up to the occasion. They are taking their responsibilities very seriously. And we need to commend the lawmakers, the federal lawmakers, for all they are doing for this country. I must have to commend them because, first of all, they are able to maintain stability in the process of checks and balances. There is absolute checks and balances, and they are ensuring that every loopholes that will stir up crisis in this country is closed up. I think the National Assembly, especially the House of Reps, talking about the calling on the security agencies to step up efforts to rescue these women. I think the abduction in this country is setting a very strong alarm to residents. And I don't know exactly what the security plan of this, of our security operatives are on this situation. Because for over years now, we're in 2014, an event that happened in 2014 is still being traced to what happened just yesterday and today. And that means that there's no remedy yet, or there's no solution yet. So I want to suggest that I think the government should still work out strategic security framework that will help the federal government get the necessary infrastructure. Because here I see that Nigeria does not have the needed infrastructure. Talk of the personnel to add to the infrastructure, because without the infrastructure, there will be no personnel to mount the security apparatus. I want to say that the government should step up efforts and make sure that they take these security issues state and look at the states that are porous in security, that there are security loopholes and other negative impacts, and then build up their armory and go into such an environment and comb the environment very well. We want the security, we want to see them comb the areas where these events and these issues of insecurity and crimes are happening, comb them very well, so that by the end of the day, we are hearing results. Because the result we are hearing so far that they did in several of these states, I think is making progress, especially in the southeast. You know what I mean? Last, I think 2 years ago, the southeast was boiling. But today, you know, we can commend the military for what they have done. So we want to see where the military is also taking such a strategic military approach to such of offensive areas, and then make sure that such offensive areas are well cleaned up, are well cleared up, and isn't to ensure that our citizens are safe. Because what the government stands for is, first of all, the primary duty. If the government is failing in this area, virtually every other area will fail. And the issue that will come up at last will be that the government could not secure our citizens. That's why they went reckless. Well, that was why they went they went into lawlessness. So I want to advise the security operatives as well to take the charge of the National Assembly and work towards ensuring that our states all over nationwide, there should be a security architect and framework on how every state should operate their security system, so that the security system will build into certain areas that impacts, and then correct those areas and make sure that if security camps and other architecture we provided, I think that should also be made known to the government, so that they support the sure that they tidy everywhere, because our citizens must be protected.
Exactly, because if they have done something like you just said, yes. if they had done something, I think this is almost 10 years now they abducted the Chibok girls, and same thing is repeating itself within the same area, because it's still Bronu.
Yes,
I know part of Bronu stays and Maiduguri, so it's still, but then that they've really not done enough for them. That means they've not really done enough. Because if they've done enough, they wouldn't have this kind of large number of women in the bush, in the forest being
300.
abducted.
No.
Yes.
It's too alarming.
300 women.
It's too alarming.
Do you get? So,
it's too alarming.
Yeah, I think it's quite it's quite disheartening.
The Dutch women,
yes,
because
it's going to create fear.
Yes.
You know, it's going to create fear to other women. How will they now go to the forest to fetch firewood? How will they want to go and look for their daily bread in the forest? Most of them are farmers now. Now, if nothing is being communities in those
places.
yeah, exactly, may go into extinction.
Extinction, of course.
They may go into extinction.
It's possible.
Because most of them are running away from their communities.
Yes, they will.
You don't have any food to eat.
300 women.
300 women.
They can build a community.
They can build a community.
Yes.
That is, it's worrisome.
Yes, it is.
They can build a community because most of them, even those people, those Chibok girls,
yes,
some of them are still there.
Yeah,
most of them are creating. They are, you know, they are procreating. They are having children and all of that for how many years now? Over 10, almost 10 years now. 2014 to 2024 is almost 10 years.
This is the time the security forces should put things on ground that will enable them trace. We were expected these things before this time. I don't know why the security agents are doing more intelligence work. They should do more intelligence work because what the Nigerians are expecting now is that we must have been stepping up with developed countries on oil. Does that mean we can be able to meet the technological needs of our citizens and make sure that whatever we're partners to some of these countries that are into security, this intelligence, including Israel. I think we should be confident that our citizens won't be missing anywhere, anytime. There are ways to put up satellite watch and surveillance cameras to see that, to ensure that our citizens are, because we don't know if the people coming to abduct these people are actually Nigerians. That's another thing to ask for. Yes, exactly. Because it's a border issue. It's a border, Bruno. It's a border issue, and we don't know if it is the handwork of Nigerians or the handwork of neighboring countries. Because looking at what happened between Gaza and Israel, on the side, if not the fact that they went into war, nobody would have known that they were infiltrating one way or the other. So it could happen in any way. If we need to know the people that are to take our citizens here out of our country. Because if they are strangers, we should know. And if they are actually Nigerians, we should know. That's what we want the military to ensure that wherever this thing, what to call it, these negative reports are coming out from, should be closed. They should close it up.
I was thinking in like manner, because I believe that there are strangers infiltrating Nigerian communities. Yes. That is at least that border area.
I think so.
Bornu and Maiduguri, all those. Yes, most of them are. I think is a border area.
Yes, it is.
Now, reps urging the security agencies. Yes. Does it mean that they are not working in synergy? There is no synergy between them. They are not having meetings because now they have to work together. Not even them calling the security agencies. Go and intensify effort. Go and get this rescue the abducted. I think there is something.
I see something in this country that
exactly
our security chiefs always wait for the pushing button. I don't know whether you understand me. They wait for the pushing button before they move. They wait for orders before they do anything. That's what I see. Otherwise, this is not something that the commander of that area, because there's I think their armory is being commanded by army commanders in various zones. This is not the time that anybody should call up anybody to wake up. Immediately you hear of a signal, you think ahead on how to put up solution to that problem. That's what Nigeria is still having, because if this present administration now, looking at the hardship that citizens are facing, if they tell the citizens, look, in 3 months, this is what we can do. In 6 months, this is what we can do. In 9 months, this is what we can do. There is hope for the citizens, but there is nothing like that. So, in the security aspect, too, that's what that's the embarrassment we are facing. The military cannot tell us that, look, in 3 months, they can fish out a community, all this in every, what do you call it, or bandits in Plateau. They would have told us in 3 months they can do it. The military has that capacity to say in 3 months they can clear up Borno. In 3 months they can clear up Benue. But we can't hear such plan. What we know is that they have gone into action and it's timeless. No, it should be time bound, so that at that time, if it cannot be done, if the other supports are needed, it will build up the security system to move on. So that's what we are saying. That the time has come. The security forces should work with plan. Everything that this country is doing should be done by with plan. With the plan, we are going somewhere. But without the plan, we are seeing ourselves still going back.
Yeah,
and everything becomes useless.
I agree with you that they have to work with plan, and the government on their own parts need to be given them. They need to be paid well.
Yes.
Because if you are paid well, you deliver. If I'm paid well, I'll deliver my job.
Yes.
Also, every other Nigerian or every other person. So now the security agencies, because a lot of things are supposed to be done in order to make sure that they tighten everywhere, so they have to pay them well. We urge the government in as much as we know that they are trying, but let them increase their pay so that when you call them into action, they will swing into action in order to rescue those people, and also work out modalities on how to make sure that those things are closed. You don't have, because Nigeria is porous. Checking the borders as well matters. Those who come in goes, not just you pick up your bag, you go out, then you come in. Not Nigerians moving out. They will now hold them at the borders and say, oh, where are you heading to? But when they are coming in, we are so free that anybody can come in. And then they will now say, okay, Nigerian people are kidnapping Nigerian people. Well, we have other stories to look at. Let's look at the House of Reps has asked for the incorporation of security education as a subject in the primary and the school's curriculum in respect to what is actually happening.
Exactly.
The House mandated the Committee on Basic Education and Services to ensure implementation. This resolution were sequel to the adoption of a motion titled "Need to Incorporate Security Education as Core Subject in Nigeria's Primary and Secondary School Curriculum," moved by Honorable Omri Emmanuel Olunsanyo. The House stressed the importance of security education for fostering knowledge and preparedness, enabling individuals to understand potential threats and take appropriate measures to protect themselves and their assets. It also explained that security education prepares students for contemporary challenges in security, ranging from economic, political, social, and environmental threats. The House said security education equips students with the direct the various contemporary security challenges, including economic, political, social, and environmental threats. The House said it was aware that due to the escalating insecurity in the country, it has become imperative for children to learn defense mechanisms and master first aid principles and emergency handling skills. Now, as you can see in the pictorial expression here, education reps move to include security learning in basic curriculum. Now, I think that's what we're actually trying to say, working on modalities in order to make sure that everyone is sensitized. It's part of sensitization, including it in the curriculum. Now, they said you're going to be a mastery of some skills that in case these people come, how you to escape from them. I think it's a welcome development. What do you say about? What do you have to say about that?
I think the orientation we're talking about has started to manifest. On our citizens, and in basic education, the issue of security is very paramount because it brings about consciousness of the child. It brings about management of security crisis and management of crisis and other resolutions. It gives the child an early start of understanding what security is all about and how to manage security and how to manage information, because security is all about information, how information can get to the right place to bring a response. That's what security is about. So what I want to say is that I want to still commend our National Assembly. They are working, they are actually working, making sure that whatever matter that concerns the citizens, where the citizens are given top priority. I think I want to commend it seriously. But that public and private schools should take this education, security education very seriously, because it will give a lot of security knowledge, understanding, and skill to those who deserve it. because there are people who deserve to defend themselves and to defend their community, their family, and their environment.
Exactly.
So such people, the tendency of people now spending money for, or maybe living in fear will not be there. Everybody will now think of the most simple way to live his or her life, and it will not allow people, you understand me, to come in unnecessarily to invade them and to take their life in a dangerous scale. Because at this point, I think everywhere in Nigeria, nowhere is safe. If you say that you are safe, maybe it's by the grace of God, and you don't know if tomorrow you change from that environment to another environment. As a collective responsibility. That's what I would say. And if it becomes a collective responsibility, I think everybody will be thinking about bringing in solutions. And solutions here, by what they have said, should start with our children, make them understand, so that sometimes the children bring these issues home to come and discuss with their parents and take the feedback. And then you will see how such people will grow with such talent and skill, and before you know, they will even be the people that will be tracing these what do you call it, hoodlums and bandits, and then giving information to the security agents. So I think it's a good start. It's very good. I want to commend the government for that.
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, I want to commend them as well for doing that, because once that has been achieved, not just saying there's a move already. Yes. So if they are able to implement that in the basic school curriculum, yes, I think it's ongoing in taming some students, some pupils in the school. Yes. You know, because sometimes you know even the ones that of humble background, you see them acting like they came from and so once those things, all those skills are being inculcated in them, they will not know what to ask, how to behave, or maybe when they see a stranger, ask them questions, what to answer, what to say, whether to say or not, or how to identify these people who perpetrate crimes and criminality and the bandits in the society. Okay, dear viewer, in case you're just tuning in right now, you are watching the Press Roundtable on Atlantic Television Network. After a short break, we have more stories to look into. Stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
illegally. That is amazing.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains.
Glad to have you back on the Press Roundtable on Atlantic Television Network. Now, let's look at more stories. The trial of former Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele continued today before Justice Hamza Muazu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja. Okay, now Femi Emefiele is standing trial, as you can see on the television, trial before Justice Muazu on 20-count amended charges bordering on corrupt advantages, conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, forgery, and obtaining by false pretenses to the tune of $6.2 billion. At the resumed hearing, a forensic analyst confirmed that a document used to request the payment of $6.2 million for foreign election observers was forged. The witness Bamayi Meriga, caught by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), informed the court that following forensic analysis of the disputed document, he discovered that there was clear evidence of forgery of signature. Other than that, the seal of execution was different from the original. He also confirmed that the signatures were not those of former President Muhammad Buhari and the Air Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. Two documents, including Presidential Directive on Foreign Observers, were admitted in evidence by the trial judge, Justice Muazu. Under cross-examination by counsel for Emefiele, the witness said he was not a staff of the EFCC and was not being paid by the anti-graft agency, but that his salary was domiciled with the Nigerian Immigration Service. Now, counsel for Emefiele, Matthew Booker, expressed displeasure over the conduct of the witness, saying that the witness misled the court by evading questions. However, the prosecution counsel, Rotimi Oyedepo, was not happy with the claims made by the defense counsel. Now, this is Emefiele. So you can see there, more trouble as forensic expert confirms forgery in the $6.2 million case. Now, remember during his tenure when he was in the office, they said he used the signature of the former president, Muhammad Buhari, to obtain this money right now. Now, this is Nigeria. We own the country. We know how they investigate their issues, their matters, when it comes to money laundering, when it comes to fraud, when it comes to stuff like this. Do you think they are going to carry out a thorough investigation in order to get to this matter? And if they recover this money, is it actually going to be channeled into Nigeria's accounts? Is it going to be recovered and utilized appropriately, or is going to be mismanaged? What is the hope for Nigerians?
I think if the evidences provided by the forensic experts is admitted to be true, I think Emefiele is a huge disappointment to this country, because he's a financial expert that was given an assignment by government, and if he has been in office to act on an aspect of distrust and financial mismanagement, actually it will not be well with so many Nigerians, because they will be so angry with his conduct. Talk less, the period when the election was up, everybody saw what happened and a lot of people died. So I want to categorically say that what Nigerians celebrate every day, that I see and the press also witness, is all about corruption. Every day, what we can celebrate is corruption. And the corruption is not only on the public aspect and the public perspective, it's also on the private perspective. And I want to say that the time has come when we should think out of the box, because we keep thinking about how to deal with these corrupt politicians, and 8 years we go. People do these things to distract us, and then the country is like somebody will just come to the field, you know, without meeting the referee. He will jump into the field and wants to play, and he will just play what he likes and leave. You know, we should see ourselves as people that should, you know, before you go out to meet your fellow team members, you are sure that you are well equipped. I don't know whether you are well equipped and you have a coach. All right, you have a coach and the team has a captain. So I don't know whether that is how the politicians are acting with their party, that they will think of, you know, putting the people first, having a plan, and then they are following up the plan and making sure that, you know, as this the other administration has left, this is the plan of the party, and we are still forging on to make sure that Nigeria gets better. I have not seen such plan, and it is falling the expectations of so many Nigerians in diverse ways, and most of it is all about this corruption. That is, you know, people celebrate it if you are in office. You know, it's a time for you to loot. It's time for you to get what you want, and then keep the country in perpetual poverty. It's wrong. Honestly, it's wrong. We are not helping ourselves. We are not helping the country. We are not helping the economy. Everybody is thinking about how to pull down this country. People are, you know, into different forms of crime. People are into different types of this is financial crime, economic crime, political crime, social crime. We don't know where this country is heading to. So what I think what should be done at this time is for the courts or the judiciary to make sure that anyone that is thinking about putting this country in perpetual poverty will be given more punishment, like more punishment that will enable you to eat, even a dime out of that money, so that people will begin to retrace themselves and come back and think of what they can do for Nigeria and not what Nigeria can do for them. Because what everybody is thinking about this very oil money is how the money can do well for me and not what I can do for my country. It's not taking the country forward. Rather, we are dwindling in the eyes of Africa. Nigeria, who is claiming the giant of Africa, is now going to be the lizard or the ant of Africa. You know, we need not to look at it from that way. We need to think about where we are going, because the country belongs to us, and we all are the ones that will build it together, and not other people coming to build it together. So if you are the top, you are not thinking about those at the grassroots. You are the person that is responsible for that problem, because you are not asked to be in that position to eat alone and to satisfy yourself alone. You need the services you are giving to the country should be that kind of service that will help even the common man at the grassroots. That is what Nigeria expects. That the observers, money that should be given to us, and signatures to documents and everything, we should be forced to loot our money, is the most grievous offense anybody can do to this country. Because indirectly, you are country. So if Emefiele and other people who are involved in this matter have gone ahead to sign their signature to rob this country, I say it's totally a fraudulent act. They should be punished. It's so shameful and a disappointment, because they are selling this country out.
Exactly.
And it's wrong.
And you know one thing, in addition to what you have said, they should be punished so that it will serve as a deterrent to other persons who are going to occupy that position. Now, look at that seat, the governor of CBN governor. In other words, if they want to elect, if they want to appoint, if they want to put in if they want to fix in that position, whoever it is, they have to make a close scrutiny of the person.
Yes.
They have to scrutinize the person's past, present, and make sure that that person is not, doesn't have any questionable character at all,
Yes.
for you to occupy that position. Even while Emefiele was trying to change his Naira note and all of those, most of always like, what is actually happening? What is, because something was playing out, and
Yes.
look at it. Now, if a whole CBN governor could forge forge a document in order to obtain this amount of money, I think he should be punished, so that it's going to, other people will learn from his actions.
Yes.
Now let's take a look at this one. Governors from the Northwest Zone were conspicuously absent on Thursday, that's today, at the Coronation Hall Government House. We're actually talking about Northwest Governorship public hearing on minimum wage. Government Ghana, the venue of the ongoing public hearing on the tripartite committee on national minimum wage. Our correspondent who covered the event reports that none of the governors attended the program, as only the Katsina State Governor, Diko Rada, sent representation, while the host governor was represented by his deputy, Abdusalam Gwazo. Speaking at the reopening ceremony, Gwazo commended President Bola Tinubu for setting up the committee to come up with a new minimum wage for the workers in the country. He assured that the state will commit itself to the implementation of the new minimum wage when it becomes effective. He restated that the commitment of the government to the welfare of state civil servants through the prompt payment of salaries. He said pensioners in the state now have renewed hope, as the state government recently paid 6 billion naira to the pensioners as part of measures to alleviate their suffering. He also expressed hope that the public hearing would come up with the useful input that the government could implement for the betterment of Nigerian workers. In his remarks, the Katsina State Governor, represented by the Commissioner of Information, Dr. Bala Zango, said the state government will abide by the outcome of the meeting. Now, let's say whatever the outcome, the state government will abide by the and the government workers, he said, is now trying to, narrow it down to their workers. It disclosed that the state government had recently paid 5 billion naira as debt benefit to workers, in addition to disbursing 700 million naira as refurbishing loans to the state workers. Now, we're actually talking about a new minimum wage now. Yeah. And the Katsina people, they are trying to, take it down home and say, this is what they're going to do. It's called a new minimum wage. Do you know we have okay, let us now say, do we have the old minimum wage?
Yes.
Because according to them, this committee, is set up. They say because of the situation in the country, that it was a clear indication that he was so concerned about the welfare of the workers, when it comes to this setting up this committee. He said he set up the committee in order to make sure he alleviates the sufferings of the people. It's called a new minimum wage. Now, do we have the old minimum wage? He said if the new minimum wage is being implemented, that everything, the situation is going to be fine. So what can you say about this? What can you say about this?
Yes, I think when you're talking about minimum wage, you cannot talk about the minimum wage without you having a huge revenue. If you don't have a huge revenue, or I may say an investment plan for whatever state, whatever local government, whatever federal strata, if there is no investment plan, you cannot stand on any minimum wage. For now, what I hear or what I see that the media is saying is that Labour is talking about 500,000 naira minimum wage. And if Labour is talking about 500,000 minimum wage, how will the country depend solely on oil? It's not possible to pay their workers. They can't do it. It's not possible. That's why I keep saying that. The governors, Southwest governors, there's no need to be afraid of attending that meeting. It's just that some of them don't have the strategic framework on what they want to do for their states and what they want the citizens to do for them. Because this is a shared responsibility. It's actually a shared responsibility. It's not the responsibility of the government alone. Look, my citizens, I'm talking about being a governor. A governor, if the governors convert there, a governor can declare to say, look, this is our problem, that when we get allocation from the federal government, this is what we can get, this is what the states get. I don't know whether there's something. Do a very good breakdown. And then, if we pay workers' salary, we so this is what we get at the end of the day. And how do we manage this? We need to put the remaining one, after we must have settled other revenue implications. We have to take this other one to put into an investment for the state, like one saving for the state. You invest every month.
Okay.
Now, what the governors have failed to do is that, while they have failed to go and tell the citizens that this is what they have and this is how they manage their state, they have also failed to have told the citizens that this is what we can do. You know what I mean?
That means that they lack the blueprint. They don't have the blueprint.
They don't have the blueprint. They don't have any plan.
If they have a plan, I don't see them shunning all the hearing, public hearing on minimum wage or new minimum.
Public hearing is all about shared information.
Exactly. And then know your plans.
With their own,
because you cannot.
Civil society will come. Other stakeholders will come together, with their own, make their input, together, and then they put this frameworks together. You know what I mean? And then set up a committee. You know what I mean? It's there and then they will set up a committee to actually investigate what has been done, and then come up with a blueprint. Look, this is what we should do. If this state has brought up an idea that other states can contribute their own, even those 4 or 5 states or 6 states can put their heads together and say, okay, let the 6 states come together and make sure that in the next 3, 4, 5 years we have set up 4, 5 refineries that will be our own, and it will yield revenue and we can pay minimum wage. It's easy. It's just that they don't want to do it because they feel that their purpose of being there is to take home the people's money.
All right, that's how much we can take on this minimum wage. The governors are actually watching, they are listening to the plight of Nigerians, because they need to have a blueprint, they need to have plans for Nigerians, not just what they will accrue, what they will get from being the governor, but at least what they will also give to the citizens, so that they could also be re-elected and their name will be written and people will say, no, you really did govern us well. Well, that's all we can take for today on Press Roundtable. You can stay connected on ATN socials, follow and like our page at Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, on Facebook and on YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. Also, you can watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.1TV. And I want to tell you that ATN Press Roundtable, we provide the right narrative in news narration. And at 8 o'clock comes a Let's Talk, and Global News comes your way at 9 p.m. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. I am Angel Wokoma, popularly called Angelic Angel on the social media. And I want to thank my colleague here, who has been very wonderful. You know, I respect his intellectual prowess. The Lord is also a media practitioner and an editor as well. Mr. Kingsley Jude Papamie, you're very welcome. Thank you so very much for coming to the program. We're going to do it again. Thank you so very much. All right. Thank you. Good night.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the